from Okinawa, Japan, and the 31st Stirred Okinawa. Welcome to the GCN Show!
Welcome to the GCN Show.
This week, are road pros about to make gravel boring? GCN investigates.
Or speculates, as the case may be.
Yes.
We've also got a new round-the-world record, or two, depending on how you look at it, a Paris Saint-Germain e-bike, and the world's first ever case of inspirational doping.
Yes, which is not doping that makes you want to dope. We'll explain later.
It's dopey people being duped by doping.
Yeah.
This week in the world of cycling, we learnt that an adult balance bike is a thing.
Yes, this is John Bannon from Indiana, really taking it on the chin. We also learned this week, thanks to Cycling Science on Twitter and Yoni de Bock's dissertation at Ghent University, that improved core stability really does lead to improved performance on a bike, as illustrated by this picture of a man in his pants.
Fantastic. We also learnt this week that it takes 700,000 pieces of Lego to make one Peter Sagan.
How many pieces of Lego does it take to make Tom last, Dan?
One brick. And finally this week, we learnt that Pete Stettner is not the only roadie to be turning his hand to gravel racing next year. Turns out that Laurens ten Dam, pro for 16 years, top 10 finisher at the Tour de France, is also going to try to be a pro graveler in 2020.
That's right, and so we are asking the question, will roadies end up ruining gravel? Or is it not inevitable that with marginal gains, super serious training and annoyingly strong legs, that will actually happen?
Now, as two cyclists who started out their careers as cross-country mountain bikers, I think we can both see a few parallels between gravel racing now and mountain biking back in the day. So mountain biking in the late 80s and early 90s was about freedom and fun and being able to take your bike to places you've not been able to take it before, or even just having a hack about the local woods in a Sunday race with your mates.
Just like gravel. And so it was. It stayed that way as beautiful innocence until roadies came along.
Yes, with increased popularity, cross-country mountain biking drew in more sponsorship, and a few pro road riders got the scent of some money. So they came across and tried it with some success, you'd have to say. It kind of turns out that being scientific with your training, using a heart rate monitor, etc., yields better results than just hacking about the local woods during the week.
Now, whilst you could argue that roadies coming across to mountain biking and making it all serious is part of what contributed to the sport losing its soul, whilst maintaining immense popularity, you've got to say, it's kind of ironic, isn't it, that mountain biking, cross-country mountain biking at least, never really matured into that TV-friendly mega money machine that we all thought it would. And so actually, most of the roadies went back to the road and took a whole bunch of mountain bikers with it.
Yeah, it turns out that it's quite hard to make mountain biking look as exhilarating, exciting and thrilling on TV as it is to experience it yourself. And I wonder whether gravel events might go the same way. Could history repeat itself?
No.
No?
No, I don't think so. I mean, there are parallels, you've successfully drawn them, but gravel racing and the cross-country mountain biking that we grew up with are fundamentally different in that gravel is less results driven and more about the sense of accomplishment that you get from just completing it. So I get the sense that if I were to do a cross-country mountain bike race next season and take a kicking, then I would get considerably less of a thrill from it than if I managed to complete Dirty Kansas.
Yeah, finishing the Dirty Kansas is going to be an accomplishment for any cyclist, no matter how experienced they are. I also wonder whether there's more of a link really between gravel and road racing, which means that being on the start line next to someone like Laurens ten Dam is going to be part of the draw for the entrance. I mean, how cool is it to be on the same start line as a Tour de France pro?
Yeah, that is very cool. Although, warning out there, the novelty of sitting next to one did wear off some years ago. So
I thought you might say that.
yeah, no, to be fair, Laurens was actually a really good Tour de France cyclist, so the novelty probably would take longer to wear.
Right, thank you very much, Si. I also wonder whether actually these events could be your ticket from gravel to becoming a pro road rider, because apparently the winner of last year's Dirty Kansas, or this year's one should I say, Colin Strickland, was actually offered a pro road contract by EF Education First. Now, he did turn it down for
We
one
assume.
reason or another, or we think he has, but it just goes to show you what's possible by riding these events.
Yeah, or just that the standard is super, super high now.
I think it is.
Yeah. Finally then, to go back to what we said at the beginning, Lawrence Ten Dam. Of all the European pro riders, he is definitely enough of a hipster to actually settle into the gravel scene and be welcomed with open arms. I mean, he loves his barbecues, he loves his beers, he loves his camper vans, and who knows, he might actually not decide to go that fast next year. And if he goes nice and steadily, then there won't be a controversy.
That is true. I don't think there'll be many people upset at the appearance of Lawrence Ten Dam at gravel events. On the other hand...
Good facial hair too, we forgot.
True, yeah. On the other hand though, what happens if David Rebellin turns up and wins as well?
Yeah, well, that's a good point. Who would be the worst, most unpopular European pro to go over to America to race?
Ricardo Rico.
Yeah. Although, the controversy of that would be small fry compared to whether or not he chooses to use clip-on aero bar.
Hey! Yeah, that could cause a media frenzy
Well,
beyond
or-
all others, couldn't it?
Fanny pack versus frame
Oh,
bag.
don't go
Would
too
Rico
far.
use a fanny pack?
Right, let's get the opinions of
I think
you
Rico would
at
definitely
home.
use a fanny pack just
Do
for
you?
the record. Yeah,
Right.
yeah. That guy would use anything.
Okay, so we did there as well. We would like to hear your opinion on this, especially if you've been into gravel riding and racing for quite some time. Are you really pleased about the fact that your event's getting more and more popular and drawing the attention and participation of some pro road riders? Or do you feel like gravel racing is losing its raison d'etre,
What does that mean, Dan?
reason of being?
Oh, right.
Next up, it's your weekly GCN Inspiration, where you submit or upload your inspirational videos or photos, and we pick our top 3, which get some very cool prizes.
Well, yeah, we got some new super special prizes this week. As you can see, Dan and I are sporting the new GCN Contrast range, which is a special edition new in the shop. And we've also got prizes to match. So at the moment, you can actually get them at a special Black Friday price, but you've got to get in quick because that will go back up on December the 4th to regular prices. Right, so third place. Whew, check these bad
They are
boys.
long.
I know, we asked them to be even longer. Those are available in black as well. Then second prize, we have a baseball cap. Actually, is that a baseball cap?
I don't know.
It's a
You're not gonna
cap,
model
isn't it?
right?
I can do if you like. And a cool t-shirt. And then first place, we're on riding gear again. So we've got a casket.
What are you laughing
We've got a casket. And then also this wicked long sleeve jersey as well. So there we go.
You're down too old to get away with
Yeah,
it.
take it off quick.
Okay, well I can't now because my hair will be mucked up. I'll do it between takes. Right, before we move on to the first of our prize winners for this week, a little mention about last week's
look like
prize
Forrest
winner.
Gump.
Last week's prize winner of the Keep Cup. Unbelievably, Si,
Yeah.
it turns out that this photo that came in from Doran B isn't real. It's been photoshopped.
I know.
Apparently.
Well, so we were absolutely dumbfounded, weren't we? A lot of you in the comments, obviously highly trained, did pick it out. We had an internal investigation here. Our head of graphics pointed out as well. And so, yeah, it does turn out that to an experienced eye, if you look closely, it does seem to have been photoshopped, doesn't it?
I mean, to excuse myself, I was just looking at the Cervelo. I didn't really even notice the lightning.
Well, I know, and to be honest with you, mate, I mean, it does take a trained eye, like I said, to notice that that was photoshopped by a 5-year-old.
But you will not be getting away with it again. You will get your Keep Cup though, Doran B, because we were fooled.
Yeah, but we're on to you.
In third place this week, receiving this prize that Si is now hold up, is Adrian. This is Open Up. He finished his build a couple of months ago and can't get enough of it.
Wow, that is cool. Are we sure that's not Photoshop, mate? Because that looks
Well,
that looks like a volcano.
I'm a bit worried about everyone that we've chosen today, but well done to you, Adrian.
The gravel road's not photoshopped and the bike's not, so that's pretty cool, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah, fine. All right, second place, which is for Dan's hat there and also this super nice t-shirt, was sent in by Lawrence. He was rewarded for the early start on our New Forest gravel ride. Whoa, look at that, Dan. That's a mountain bike and a gravel bike in the same photo.
Yeah, shows that they can both get along. This is actually very near to my house. I know exactly where that bridge is, near Burley in the New Forest. There's loads of great gravel riding around there.
Whoa.
And I'll be doing quite a lot of road riding around there fairly soon.
Whoa.
Meanwhile, the winner of the top prize in
love
first
this one,
place
Dan.
this week is Paul, who's on holiday with his mate Neil. So inspired by the photo submitted to your show by Doran B that I went out cycling with my mate Neil. And this is the photo that he got. How cool is that? He's got a moon.
I know, isn't that insane? I didn't realise that anyone had ever managed to take a bike up there So that is great, isn't it?
Is that a giant defying gravity?
Yeah. Weird that he hasn't taken pedals with him. That seems like an omission, but then it happens, doesn't it? Sometimes you go on take your bike somewhere exotic and you get there and you find that you've left your through axle or your pedals or your seat clamp, but still not to be deterred, he's gone for it.
We are, of course, joking. Sorry, Paul, no prize for you this week, despite the great photoshopping. The actual winner of the first prize is Jacek. From Bern in Switzerland. Off-season is amazing too. This is the one that I'm a little bit afraid has been photoshopped because it looks so amazing.
No, I'm going to stand up for that one. I think that's actually what Switzerland looks like, Dan.
It's an amazing pic, isn't it?
That is fantastic,
That makes you want to go out on your bike.
Inspirational, some might say.
Don't forget to keep submitting your photos. There's a link to the upload in the description below, or you can now, of course, use the GCN app. Now, we know that some of you have been frustrated at the fact that you can't find the app in your Play Store. It's not available worldwide just yet, but as an update, we have now got it available in Brazil, Mexico, India, South Korea, Taiwan and Colombia, and it will, we hope, soon be available worldwide. So thank you for your patience.
That's it, stay tuned. And remember, hopefully that will happen before Dan completes his adventure, and you can make him ride even further by liking his post.
It's now time for cycling shorts.
Cycling shorts now, and we will start with the sad news that legendary French cyclist Raymond Poulidor passed away last week at the age of 83.
He was, by all accounts, France's most loved sports star, in spite of the fact, well, probably because of the fact that he never won the Tour, but finished runner-up 3 times and 3rd place a further 5 times. He actually never even got to wear the yellow jersey once in his career, did he?
No, astonishing really, isn't it, that a rider with 189 wins has that dubious honour. But I think his legacy should be as much about the value of sportsmanship and class as it is about number of race victories.
Yeah, true. Part of his legacy, in fact, is his grandson Mathieu van der Poel, who managed, despite the emotions, to travel down to the Czech Republic to compete at the UCI Cyclocross World Cup in Tibor, which he won, before travelling back up to Belgium to do the Flandrian Cross, which he also won.
Yeah, Anna-Marie Verst also completed the same feat in the women's race. She beat compatriot Del Carmen Alvarado at the World Cup and Sana Kant at the Flandrian Cross.
Right, let's move on from racing to some actual riding, shall we? We noticed last week on our favourite bearded cyclist Instagram page, that being Dan Craven, of course, that the Richmond San Rafael Bridge in the Bay Area in San Francisco is finally open to cyclists.
Yeah.
Which is a big step forward, isn't it? Because it cuts 100 kilometres from that particular trip.
Yeah, apparently so. Now, being Dan Craven, he was not only there as it opened, but he also made lots of friends while he was there, including Frida the dog, as you can see.
Also last week, Road CC reported that the German ultracyclist Jonas Deichmann is set to smash the Cape to Cape world record. So that is riding from the top of Norway to the very tip of South Africa. 18,000 kilometres in total. And as they reported it, he had 620 kilometres to go and was a full 32 days ahead of the existing record.
Nice. Would you take a day off if you were 32 days ahead?
No, I wouldn't.
Why
What if somebody
not?
came along and beat it by a day?
Good point. Put it on the shelf. Now, sticking with ultra endurance, but not smashing records quite so comprehensively, 2 British doctors have just broken the round the world record for tandems. Yes, 218 days it took them, and they shaved just 9 days off the record, which must have been a little bit tense.
Sounds like
Isn't
my worst nightmare, that whole thing.
Yeah,
really.
pretty bad.
Sticking with round the world record breakers, last week we were sent this message from Jenny Graham.
Hey, I'm Jenny Graham, and last week I had an amazing time out with Hank, giving him an introduction to bikepacking. And this winter I've got loads more adventures planned, including one very silly one that's going to happen over Christmas and New Year, and might include this one here. Come down.
A little bit of tech news now for any football fan cyclists out there, or at least Paris Saint-Germain fan cyclists out there. You can now get a Paris Saint-Germain e-bike.
You can.
Yes.
We saw all this information on the e-bike tips website, which also included the price tag, which is not as bad as we thought it was going to be, is it? €1,600 if you like one.
You might get a discount for the fact that it's got Paris Saint-Germain on it. I don't know how well they're doing this season, but you know, anyway. Right, lastly, we have been working with our mates over at the Sufferfest to put GCN training videos on their app, and the first 5 went live last week, making them fully interactive.
That's right. So our GCN workouts have had the full Sufferfest treatment, which means that they will be based on your 4DP score, which is that fitness test, which I went through twice. It also means they'll be fully interactive via your smart trainer, which I know is something that a lot of you have been calling for quite a few years now. Next up, it is Hack/Bodge of the week. To submit your hacks and bodges, you can use the upload or link to which is below, or again, you can use the GCN app, where also, in fact, you can vote on other people's hacks and bodges and whether you deem them a hack. In fact, we could maybe use people's votes in future to decide whether they're a hack or a bodge.
We could.
Or we could just override people.
Well, yeah, that is a good point, Dan, because it's contentious, isn't it? Before we even get started, we've had a complaint about last week. Not photoshopping this time, more just the fact that we're being dense for other reasons. When we couldn't quite get our heads around this image of a bike being literally chained up. Turns out, Dan, that you don't have to break the chain to wrap it around a post. And actually, when you zoom in, you can clearly see that that is not the case. So there we go. Yeah. We've been well and truly told again this week.
We could make a video every Monday, Si, where we apologise for all of our mistakes in the previous week's videos.
Isn't that what the GCN show does on a Tuesday?
Probably, yeah, but it's taking too long these days.
Good point.
Right, the first one for this week comes in from FizzBomb68. Here's my budget laptop stand, complete with double 240-volt sockets. Also, budget air conditioning provided by sliding the door further open as the tempo rises.
Well, the only bit about that I think is quite cool is the hedgehog, and you can't see that when you're on your turbo trainer.
Bodge? Well, it's quite a good stand, that, isn't it? If he's made it himself. I'm going to go hack.
Has he?
I presume so.
Well, don't take anything at face value anymore, Lloyd.
Budget laptop stand. I mean, sure.
Well, I was going to say, you could maybe buy that at IKEA. I don't know.
No.
I don't know what to think anymore, Dan. Enough, you know, the trust is gone. Hack?
Yeah.
I mean, the door's a bodge, but there we go. Right, Bionic Wheeler, spotted in London. Any ideas? No, that doesn't.
No.
Actually, hang on a minute. Isn't that the kind of thing that you like attach a kid's
trailer
seat?
Yeah.
Well, probably not a trailer there, more of a seat. But yeah, I think that's just a kid's seat attachment. I think that probably exists in real life. No.
Moving on, Terry's came in with this. I use a Topeak backloader for commuting and have a light clipped to that, but wanted a second light for additional safety. I couldn't fit it to the seat post, so I designed my own bracket in a 3D CAD system and had it 3D printed.
Come on, smarty
perfectly
pants.
to the rack bosses on my Dolan RDX.
Ooh, that does look neat.
It is rather neat, isn't it?
Yeah, I like that.
Might be able to start selling them. Hack from me.
Yeah, no, that's a hack from me. Well, I mean, it automatically qualifies, as we've said before, because it's 3D printed and they've mentioned the use of CAD in there. So, yeah, to us, that's brilliant. Right, next up, from Sloth in a Bowl. You could spend almost 200 quid on a Kicker laptop table, or you could use a bit of leftover chipboard, some Poundland string, and make a cable-stayed laptop platform to sit your bike on.
Laptop on. It doesn't look like it'd be particularly stable, does it, on a piece of string like that, even though it was cheap. Trying to give people ride-ons and it's all over the place.
That's a massive bodge,
yeah, right,
isn't it?
Bodge for that one. Next up, this from Tim Sellis. I bought a specific tablet holder for my bike, only to find it will not work on Aerobar. So rather than splashing out more kit, used an old Ranker cover and mounted a cassette ring for stability. Cable tied it to my existing mount and computer. So there you go, there's his iPad.
Wow, that's quite aero, isn't it?
Well, you
look at that.
Need to be aero side because I presume he's just using it for Zwift.
Oh, I see. Oh, okay.
You wanted a really big head unit for out on the open road.
Well, yeah, I was thinking like be really good for mapping.
I might be controversial here and go bodge.
Yeah, the chainring doesn't look pretty, does it? No, and zip ties. I can't get excited about zip ties.
No, me neither.
You know when you cut the end, and they're the sharpest thing on earth.
Aren't they? You've had some bad experiences.
I have. Yeah, I really have.
Move on.
Yeah, please. That's awful. Right, Hugo BCI said, a construction iron bar I found laying in a construction site, added a hose for protection, then bent the iron bar so it formed a holder for my handlebar bag.
Why do you want the handlebar bag behind your saddle? Just get a saddle bag.
It's a good point, Dan. I mean,
is it a good point well made or not?
Well, it was very succinctly made. Yeah, I mean, I mean, I like the sort of fact that you're reusing and you're upcycling, but yeah, Dan's point is valid. Why not just buy a saddlebag?
Bodge. I'm going to say Bodge.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree, mate, yeah.
The final one this week comes in from A. Boardman. My workmate's bike helmet. We were all in fits of laughter when we saw it. It may have been at least practical in Australia, but it ain't in windy Wellington, New Zealand. He thinks it's great.
Well, it gets around the thorny issue of peak up or peak down, because I think that's the brim just stays where it is, doesn't it?
The brim. Bodge.
Well, yeah,
it serves the purpose, I'm sure, but even we look stupid with that one.
Yeah. Well, and yeah, also, if you go too fast, you'd be in danger of whiplash, wouldn't you? So actually, it's quite dangerous.
Right.
Just go careful.
Don't forget to keep submitting your hacks and bodges ready for next week's show. It's Captioned Photo now, which is, of course, your weekly chance to win a GCN bottle, which has changed.
Yeah, well, eagle-eyed viewers will notice that it actually changed a few weeks back, but we can now officially announce, just in case you hadn't guessed, that we have a partnership with the good people over at Elite, which is super exciting because not only are the bottles super lightweight, they are also biodegradable, as we found out when John Cannings went to their water bottle factory. So make sure you check that video, actually. It's really good.
Available in red, black or clear in a couple of sizes too.
There is also, weirdly, one down there with Dan's face on it. So
Yes.
that'll be much coveted.
Well, I'm sure they're sold out by now. It's got your face on it too, Si.
Ah, amazing.
Do you not know that?
No?
Yeah. No wonder you didn't want me to show it.
No, I was going to say.
Your own face on it. Anyway, on with the caption competition. Last week's photo was this one of Ellie Isabet at the end of the European Cyclocross Championships, and our winner is Bilbo736, who put Ellie is a bit tired of all these jokes with his last name.
Yeah.
Might have to give it a rest now, mightn't we?
Yeah.
Until we struggle to come up with another caption.
Absolutely. Right, so this week's photo. The cyclocross season is brilliant, isn't it? It never disappoints. So here's the photo for you to get your teeth stuck into. Remember, put a caption in the comments section and we will choose the best one. The winner then gets a GCN Elite water bottle. Dan, do you want to get us started?
Well, this is Jens
belter?
Backart of Belgium crashing during those European Cyclocross Championships.
Ah, my
We'll get you
Backart.
started. Oh, nice one. You just come up with that on
Yeah,
the spot.
just
Whereas
literally
this one took me
spontaneous.
quite some time to come up with. I'm still pleased with it. Now, this is what you call a plant-based cyclist. Did we tell you we got a book out?
That's good, mate.
Thank you.
That's even better than mine.
Well, let us know your... Sorry. I'm overcome with emotion at how good my caption was. Let us know your best caption in the comments section below.
Before we get on to what is coming up on the channel over the next 7 days, our customary look back over some of the brilliant comments that you've been leaving under the previous 7 days worth of videos.
Starting with a couple of comments from the same person underneath how far can we ride in 24 hours, which wasn't we at all, was it? It was Mark Beaumont and Hank. It came in from CNE. Watching this must be truly inspiring for Dan. I bet he's raring to go with his 1,000 kilometre plus challenge now. Yeah, I won't be doing that big of a ride in one go, but I am going to try and do my 1,000 kilometres on the run up to Christmas.
Dan, some other cheekster pointed out that the fact that they only did 497, that had they asked you to do it, you definitely would have done that last 3K to make it 500. And I couldn't help but think, yeah, you could have done the last 3K to make it 500, but there's no way on earth you'd have done the first 497.
I did 70 on Sunday. Thank you very much, Si. At almost 20 miles an hour. Goodness knows how. E-bike, I guess. Also from CNE, hitting McDonald's in central Manchester at 3 AM in full cycling kit is taking bravery to another level. Chapeau.
Yeah.
Well, I'd agree with that, yeah.
Absolutely. Right then, underneath the game of bike that Jeremy played with legendary Belgian pro Tom Meyerson, Danger Zone said Jeremy talking himself into the jump and then utterly bulldozering that log was one of the funniest things I've seen on this channel. It's true, but how good was Tom Meyerson? I mean, don't get me wrong, Jeremy's amazing, but Tom Meyerson's bunny hopping.
Well, shall we take a moment to appreciate how smooth he is at bunny hopping? I mean, that's makes it look easy, doesn't it? And that's really high.
Can we also take another moment to appreciate Jeremy's face on landing there? That is a look of pure adoration.
I think my face would have been quite similar to Jeremy's at that point. But also, he had to do it after him, so it's slight fear.
Yes, exactly. He's like, oh man, I've so lost this one. Yes.
Right, coming up on GCN over the next 7 days. On Wednesday, we are going to show you how to choose the correct frame size, which is not that easy.
No, it's not. Well, it will be after watching the video, mate.
It will be, yeah. Thursday, we're going to give you our top 5 nutritional tips. Friday, we have the Cyclocross bike exchange. Not a way for you to exchange your cyclocross bike for somebody else's, but rather when you see those riders changing their bikes in the pits, what's the best way of doing it?
Well, that's it. There's a lot goes into it, Dan, that I didn't realise.
Really?
So yeah, Jeremy talks us through it. On Saturday, we've actually addressed the question that you all asked in mine and Dan's poke at mountain biking. What actually is the difference between a gravel bike and a modern cross-country mountain bike? Where is each one faster than the other? Then on Sunday, it's clips versus flats. Chris and James basically did some science to try and work out which was faster.
On Monday, we have the Race News Show over on GCN Racing's YouTube channel. And on Tuesday, we're back in the set for episode 359.
Whoa.
Has Jeremy done one on going over hurdles? Because I think my son Jude could do a few tips.
Could he?
Here he is attempting his first ever hurdles on Sunday.
Well done, son, well done. Push the back a little bit, jump off, good. Better. You can work on this. Go, go, go.
Last up, mate. Great dismount. Good work. Well done. Let's just pull over. That's it. Smash it. Go, 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 go.
Now, as ever, we are getting on towards the end of the GCN show, but don't worry, we still have time for Extreme Corner, and we can't ignore Tom Meyerson's incredible feats, even though we've just talked about it. We need to see more.
He's got skills.
He does.
No doubt about that.
He does. I tell you what, he'd give those GMEM boys a run for his money, even with his seat post that high.
Well, he makes Jeremy look rubbish, doesn't he?
Well,
Sorry, Jeremy. He'd make me look even rubbisher.
that is a good point, actually. A very good point.
Right, yeah, if you've enjoyed this week's GCN show, we would love for you to give us a thumbs up down below, so to speak, but we've got a couple more bits of housekeeping to come first. First up, don't forget you can get our special Black Friday merchandise over at shop.globalcyclingnetwork.com at the special price until the 4th of December, at which point it will go back to its normal price.
That's right. And then, some sad news now, Dan. Unfortunately, GCN Mallorca has sold out completely already.
Yeah. We're as surprised as you are.
Well, yeah, unbelievably. But no, seriously, if you're feeling a bit disappointed now, then there is actually some news that will be coming very soon that may well perk you up, and even more of you too. So stay tuned for that.
Right, we will see you next week. But in the meantime, why not watch that video with Mark Beaumont and Hank, which you can find just down there.